main game is over, but there's still a couple extra things to look at. Nothing of any real, you know, plot or gameplay importance, but, you know, to get the whole Hollow Knight package, I think it's still a fun thing to check out. So first off, here we got the rest of the Whispering Roots. I looked at more than a few of them in the playthrough, but there's still a couple that kind of escaped me. For example, this one here, in the Kingdom's Edge, which I only need 2 more Dream Essence before falling off a cliff, and they were directly above me. Up above Dirtmouth, bugs reduced. Still kind of a strange phrase. I mean, obviously bugs exist outside of Hollow Nest, so I'm not entirely I still don't know if that's exactly how that works. Did the worm give them sentience? Who knows. This one I couldn't get because I didn't have the Monarch's wings at the time. Looked at that tablet because Dream Forgotten. I guess getting infected kind of screwed with the whole Mantis's dream thing. Whatever it was supposed to be. Down in Deep Nest, didn't even look at this one because Deep Nest. And just telling you, yeah, Hera's there. Yeah, never actually took a look at the Shape of Un, which does this specifically. Not something I use too often, but unique animations, unique little synergies. It's extremely cute. And there's what the Spore Shroom looked like if I didn't actually use it for anything in the play. I don't think I used it for anything in the playthrough aside from just doing the Mr. Mushroom stuff. But yeah, different combinations for each one of these. Get a mushroom-infected slug, a slug, mushroom-infected slug, snail, mushroom-infected snail. All with unique little sprites on there. Oh, yes, I never talked. After getting Howling Wraiths, or Abyss Shriek. Abyss Shriek. I never actually talked to the snail shaman here. So here's what he's got to say about that. You know, it's interesting because the snails, when killed, seem to burst into void. So you'd think that they'd be a little bit attuned to that. Arcane Egg here, the 4th one. Unlike a couple of the other things where Lem, you know, only has so much to say before he just gives a generic response. Arcane Eggs are rare enough that he always has something to say about them. Somehow drawn to you. They seem to just be an ancient version of journals. You know, somewhat more advanced than the regular hunter journals, but it's... I don't know, I feel like they're probably not that mystical, but hey, it's what the game is saying. That too here. Hey, there's still a lot of mysteries in the game after all. I talked to Mato up on the Howling Cliffs there, but I didn't actually talk to the rest of the Nail Masters, who all have something to say after meeting Sly, as well as, you know, getting the rest of the stuff here. Additionally, if you do not kill the Nailsmith, he'll appear over here, realizing that his quest for the pure nail and to be struck down by it was, well, obviously worthwhile. I mean, that pure nail did a lot for me, but there's more to life than mere nail crafting. And now he's posing for Shio over here. I wonder if Nail Master is going to appear in any respect. Paint Master Shio is going to appear in Gods and Glory. We have seen that in the trailers here, but Nail Master, not entirely sure. Of course, because you could have killed him in his quest line there, it may have kind of screwed with that sort of plans anyway. But then again, it's taking place in a dream, so who knows? Yeah, and here's his proper dialogue for that too. I would like to remind you right now that canonically the Nailsmith is dead. He is extremely dead. I killed him with my own 2 bug hands. By the way, I never actually mentioned it when I was fighting Grim. That little animation where he does that snap, is that kind of weird? Because the fact that he has like 5 fingers and a thumb to be able to do that snap, that doesn't... I don't know, I don't really think of bugs as having hands. I mean, you can see even here, Shio appears to just be kind of grasping it with a grasping that paintbrush with a claw more than anything. I don't know. Haha, no. And then there is also an alternate scene with the Nailsmith and Shio here. where they're painting little figurines. You can still see the painting over there where Shio did do a painting of Nailsmith, but yeah, they're painting little figurines of all the various knights of the land. And I think that this is the place where you actually get the... Yeah, I already saw that one. Yeah, I think this is the place where you actually get all the titles of the knights. Mighty Hegemol, who was killed by a maggot, or maybe just died and had the maggot steal his corpse. Fierce Drya died protecting the queen. Kindly Yzma, who is a tree and or dead. Zemmer, who was the Grey Mourner, and might be dead, might not. She just kind of disappeared there. It's not really clear. I guess you don't get a title like Mysterious without being able to do that sort of stuff. And the other one, Ogrim, but you know, hey, he's got a name and everything. All right, sure. Shio, come on. He's the only guy who's still kicking and, you know, doing stuff. That is Zemmer, if she is alive or was just a ghost, I don't know, is clearly not really defending the kingdom in any way anymore. Crude practice, did you see the nail that you gave me? That had so many engravings and everything on there. Anyway, check out Oro. He's also got something to say, too. It actually took just a couple seconds. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe a lot of time passed within that cutscene. Who knows? Yep, and having mastered the nail, he moved on to a different art. Which Sly did the same thing. I guess it's kind of common for a nail master. Big space. Mm-hmm. Still not entirely sure, but I want to say that one of the things that was intended in one of the things that was intended when they were creating a lot of the NPCs in the game is that they were supposed to have, you know, a larger story than you would ever see. Anyway, destroying that first little sign here that you saw right at the bottom of the well actually does do something. You can notice that every time it seems to get repaired, it gets repaired kind of badly. And that's because if you destroy it enough times, you'll see something here. Yep. And if you don't do that, that bug will just fly away. That bug will see you, get scared, and just fly away. It's a vendor bug. Yeah, if you were ever wondering why all of the little background objects that you can destroy seem to get repaired over time, there is, in fact, a really dumb Easter egg related to it. I swore he also dropped a journal, but I couldn't find it. Anyway, Hollow Knight and Radiance do have their own Hunter's Journal thing here, but I didn't want to cut immediately back to that after seeing the credits. That felt like that might have been a little thematically inappropriate. The Light Forgotten. Hunter just expressing the fact that he has no idea what this is or what's going on. But you did it! You done did it. And then, when you actually complete the Hunter's Journal, of course the Hunter does have something to say about that. Now, you remember the God Tamer? How the Hunter said that he could never have an apprentice because he would always test his strength against it. Yeah, okay, this is this is the most obvious thing in the game. All right, let's go. That is one of the best fake outs in the entire game. I love that bit. And thankfully he did not spit this one out at me, so it's not covered in gross saliva. There we go. Hunter did also, if you look at some of the Greenkin stuff, the Hunter did also say that he understood, you know, why some creatures would want to disguise themselves, so it totally makes sense that, yeah, he's not just hiding in a cave, that's his face. What a guy. And to the very end, he decided to resist completely murdering you, even though he could have easily done that. And specifically, the Hunter's Mark doesn't give a little insight as to why he didn't try to kill you there. It's because, much like the Hunter was saying that he didn't know if you would ever have kids or anything like that, he kind of considers you his own. That's really nice. Oh, now this is an interesting one. Going from Hera, the Beast's altar there, and then because I didn't actually know where I was going, I just knew that this was a thing that existed. Kind of ran around randomly. But one of the things that it's said in the description of the Weaver's charm is that the Weavers didn't actually die out or anything like that, or even get infected. They just left. They were gone. And that, combined with this mysterious trilobite sort of statue, has a seal around it, which you can see if you try shooting any sort of soul attack at it. It's very strange, doesn't have anything to do in the game. But those two things, and the fact that we know that there's going to eventually be a Hornet DLC, and the Hornet is obviously very related to Hera, if you beat her in the Ashen Graveyard before beating Hera. Oh, and speaking of which, yep, there is also one Weaver left that will just randomly disappear occasionally when you're in the Weaver's Den. You know they're not infected because they don't have the yellow eyes, or the orange eyes. But yeah, we know that that will probably be expanded upon, the trilobite statue and a little bit of stuff related to the Weavers in her whole thing. Yeah, the midwife did happen to say that Deep Nest had a great that Deep Nest did have a great culture and everything, that it was sad to see disappear, after the bargain was made and everything like that. But obviously, if you just look at regular Deep Nest, it doesn't really seem to have that. But the Weaver's Den really does show that they were a very advanced species with, like, a lot of culture and art and everything like that. So again, hopefully we'll see a little bit more, including a seal of binding. Apparently that bargain was more than just making the Hera the Dreamer. They also had their own. There were a lot of precautions put on the Hollow Knight, apparently. Yeah, we'll see a little bit more of that maybe with the Hornet DLC. Up here in the Tower of Love, there's just this big grub diagram. I don't know. I had to look this one up entirely. I have no idea what it means or why, but I guess this would make some sort of implication as to why the collector was really interested in the grubs. Man, I don't know. And then the last thing here. It's all of the Kickstarter backer content. This is the Spirits Glade. It is just a whole bunch of... I unlocked it after getting, 200 Dream Essence or whatever. It is all just a bunch of backer rewards. Getting your character, Revik here, for example, who is not kidding about that. And if you try attacking him, he will attack you. Does 2 hit points damage each hit. You can parry that, but, oof. And that will happen if you try to Dream Nail any of the characters in here. Yeah, nothing new to say. That'll happen if you try to Dream Nail any of those characters, but if you Dream Nail all of the characters except for him, then you can Dream Nail him. But why? That's a lot of trouble to go through for, 10 essence total. Yeah, this is the Hall of OCs. And, let me tell you, as following, original character Do Not Steal, a lot of these guys are warriors with some sort of... None of these are too bad, I think, but the abundance of, people talking about how strong and awesome they are is no surprise at all. Let's just say that. So now that we got Hollow Knight kind of finishing up here, or at least until the 27th, where the Gods and Glory DLC comes out, definitely going to be picking this game back up right for that. And I'll say, I think it was a good you know, test for doing some live commentary. It's a game I've played before. It's a game I've played several times on and off of camera. So at least I could kind of have an idea of how I wanted to do things before I started. That said, I do think that if I was going to... Well, I did, you know, entirely start over the playthrough because when you're doing live commentary like this, you can't just, you know, scrub the track and then try re-recording the audio. It's like, no, you gotta restart the game, which is why there's essentially 2 separate playthroughs. The original part 2 is actually in the unlisted videos playlist right now if you want to see it. I don't know. It's virtually the same thing. I'm pretty consistent in how I do stuff, but hey, it's there. The other thing is that I didn't remember this game being as open when I was doing it the first time. A lot of side quest and sort of stuff that I got distracted with kind of in the middle of the series there. I think that if I was going to do this one over again or do a game similar to this, I would probably plan it out a little bit more to sort of maybe supplementary episodes like this, maybe keep them in one half of an episode or something. Maybe just go through the regular game and then go through all the side content. I don't know, plan it out a little bit better so there's not 2 hours of me doing side quests and not actually anything related to the main plot of the game. Not that wow, that guy's name. Straight out of Star Wars here. I'm betting it's an anagram for something. Probably for the guy's name. Put that in here. Yeah, so it might have been better to do a little bit more straightforward game, but at the same time, hey, I enjoyed it. Molten. How do you get out of Nuclear Throne? Well, that's neither here nor there. Also, the guy's name is Melting. Whatever, you know what I'm saying here. Now that's a guy. Magnus Strong. And that's right there, too. Well, his advice is solid, if nothing else. That's a good sprite as well. Of course, again, very strong in battle, as most of these guys are. These characters. Oh, Wyatt, I like this one. I like thinking that some guy said, yeah, this is the character I want to put in the game. Like, look out for my acidic touch. There you go. Straight up a big spider. You know, there was originally supposed to be a gigantic spider, maybe down in Deep Nest, showing some of the early art and stuff for that. Never got to see him. Just the weavers these days. Yeah, so much for Markoth being the only moth to take up a... You know, there's 3 moths you see in the game. 2 of them use weapons, which none of the other moths do. But as far as I can see, 2/3 of them here. Hey, and there's a little bit of hint to Markoth out in the Kingdom's Edge there. Maybe made by the same character. All of the dreams. This guy's name is just Boss. But anyway, yeah, all of the warrior dreams are also backer content, which they did a really good job with that, I think. Definitely fit in the game pretty well. Sure, whatever. And right over here, there is one final whispering root that I didn't hit. So go get that right now. I suspect you'll outdo me by far. I united the void, man. Yeah, I outdid everybody, I would say, at this point. There's no way you would have been able to beat the Radiance if you didn't have the entirety I mean, as the statue said down there, it's a power without unity. And then for one brief moment before the vessel here returned to the void, it was united in taking down a god. Pretty cool little bit there. Does make me wonder if Hollow Nest would have had to deal with the fact that the king happened to unite. Your name is just Nick backwards. Don't even try to fool me like that. Yeah, well, I'm the Hollow Knight. Well, okay, I'm not the Hollow Knight, but close enough. It does make me wonder if Hollow Nest would have ever had to deal with the fact that the king did kind of happen to unite the void a little bit. Get back to that later. And that could have been bad if they weren't so committed to fulfilling the king's desires. I don't know, maybe there was some sort of sacrifice aside from obviously all of the void creatures killed in the pursuit of creating the vessel. The many vessels. But as we saw in the ending, it seems like as soon as the work was complete, they all just went back to the bottom of the abyss. Ah, come on. Interesting thing. Yeah, and speaking of Joni and everything like that, it does really make me wonder about the whole lifeblood thing. I mean, was Joni sort of the equivalent of the seer for lifeblood? Was she considered a heretic specifically because she was going for lifeblood, and that's, you know, the fruit of a god sort of thing, which is not good in this area where you're only supposed to be worshiping the king? Why did the king have such a huge ego? I mean, what is the king even doing these days? Bardoon had said that no such luck. Bardoon had said that, you know, the worm is too great to just up and disappear after dying. He obviously became the Pale King, and then the Pale King died within the dream or whatever. But that doesn't necessarily mean the Pale King is dead. He could just be in a different form, maybe making a new Hollow Nest somewhere. Who knows? Or maybe he did die there. I don't know. Yeah, nothing too new as far as stuff goes there. But there is also this little area in here as well. A few moth statues. And a king's idol. Because the moths did have a lot of respect for the king, despite the fact that, you know, their insistence on helping him seal the Radiance kind of led to the downfall of the kingdom. And the super secret area in the Glade here. Oh yeah, if you thought that the Spirit's Glade was something, this is where all the people that just got a message go. In other words, this is not canon. Warning, this is not canon. Yeah. Hey, don't worry about it, Team Cherry. The reception to your game was pretty good. Shrine of Believers. You just wanted to say philosopher, eh? Yep, and these are just random phrases, I guess we're probably not. Yeah, why not? I'm a disrespectful guy. Why not? Ugh. Next up, though, is that I'm going to have to start... trying to do some blind recordings, which, you know, doing this, I don't... Especially doing the, the Grim Troop content blind, I don't know if I want to do stuff blind again, but hey, I'll give it a try here. Transistor is going to be the next one, kind of, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, some of these people apparently had no idea what to put. Some of these people, you know, I'd say pretty, fits in well with the game. And some of them didn't really realize that, you know, the light was going to be evil. Which kind of colors a little bit of what they're doing here. Yeah, well, saving this place didn't bring forth the light. It's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about there. Like, that would be a bad thing in the context of the game. But I guess a lot of these were written before the game's plot was actually known. Which are success. See, that fits in well with the game. Again, the god is like, ah, crap, I destroyed one extra one. Let me just cut right back here. Okay, maybe I shouldn't I shouldn't destroy every single one of these then. Famous last words. Oh, radiant potential, eh? I wonder if there's any difference between the little skinny ones and the big fatter ones. The Hollow Knight comes. Yep, again, it's not when the plot was probably not known at the time. Close enough. And as it turns out, he did not. Instead, just moved all the way to the edge of the world. And his brothers do know that he's still alive, so, hey. Alright. Why not? Some people taking the opportunity to put dank memes in here. They do not need a Hollow Knight anymore, let me tell you. I don't even know what that one means. Well, I went every way in the crossroads. Don't even worry about that one. All right. Why not? It is not. It's far more warriors than that. Oh, there's Joni! Hey! I like your character. It was a good one. And all the way up here. Thanks, Joel. Yeah, this game was super easy. I had no problem with it at all. Yeah. Don't go hollow or whatever. And I thought I didn't get that one, but I did. Sure. Didn't get into the Spirit's Glade, did you? Well, it's too late now. Assisting Knight. Yep, that's why you didn't get to be one of the 5. And somebody, again, putting in dank Dark Souls 2 memes. That's what you get. And he definitely did not. Well, I'm not entirely sure what the deal with the abyss creatures are. Maybe they just leave. I mean, they explode into big black particles when they die. I don't know. And once again, As you deserve. Tell me to stay here. Like 5 minutes from the ending of this entire series. Mr. Apples, okay, sure. Yeah, you don't want to put too many words in this, otherwise it gets a little awkward to read. Yeah, green lands are on the other side of the map. Again, I just love the I mean, they couldn't have known, but it's still kind of funny anyway. Hey! And here's your ultimate reward. Enjoy! Your loyalty has been rewarded. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That fits in the game pretty well. Oh, that's really nice, Nick. You're not the one that put Kassin in the game, are you? Like the shout out. And hey, there's Tiso! Hey man, I liked your character too. It's too bad he did not get a fight in the arena. There's the closest thing you're gonna have to a proper fight against Tiso. So, that's it for Hollow Knight. I guess I'll see you next time for something else. Oh. Right.